Jesus, I'm falling in love.
They were distracted. They thought that going back to say goodbye to family and burying their father, or whatever it was they had to do, they thought that it was more important than following Jesus. I just pray and hope that I never get to a point where I feel like something else is more important than waking up and praying, that something else is more important than reading my Bible. Like, I don't want to ever be a but first Christian. God, I'll follow you, but first, let me clean up this sin in my life. It doesn't work like that. No. You go to God with that sin, and then He cleans up the sin, because you can't do anything unless Christ strengthens you. Luke 14:26 says, if anyone comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even their own life, such a person cannot be my disciples. And whoever does not carry their cross and follow me cannot be my disciple. So the fact that those men on the road were stopping Jesus and was like, I want to go bury my father first. I want to go say goodbye to my family first. They weren't ready to follow Christ, because it clearly says here, if you don't hate mother, wife, children, brother, sister, even your own life, then such a person cannot be my disciple. And He's not literally saying hate your family, but He's just saying love me more than you love your family. Prioritize me more than you prioritize your family. And that's how it's got to be. We must give up everything to follow Jesus. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Luke 14:33 says, in the same way, those of you who do not give up everything, you cannot be my disciples. So that means we have to give up everything in order to be a disciple of Christ. I don't know about you, but I'm giving up everything. I'm dropping everything at the altar because I want to be a disciple. I genuinely want to spread the gospel. I genuinely want to live a God-like life, because there's nothing else to do. There's nowhere else to go. There's no one else to praise. There's no one else to bow down to. God is the only one, the only way, the truth, and the light. And y'all, we see the same thing happening in the parable of the great feast. Now, I have a whole entire video on this parable, so if you want to go watch that, just so you can get a backstory on what happens in that parable, please go watch it. Super good parable. I'm going to summarize it for the sake of this video. But in the parable of the great feast, the servant was going out into the town. He was inviting people to the feast, and people were like, I'm sorry, I can't go. I just got married, or going on a honeymoon. He was like, I'm sorry, I can't go. I have to go feed my sheep. They were just saying all kind of off the wall things like, I'm sorry, I can't be there. They missed out on the feast because they found something else to be more important. They missed out on being with the Father because they found something else to be important. It is time to get your priorities in check. It is time to realize what is priority and what is not. It is time to stop putting God underneath everything, but it is time to put God first above all else, because He is a holy Father. I hate to get all churchy on y'all, but it is time to follow God for real. It is time to pick up our cross and follow Jesus. We can't let our excuses keep us from God. We can't let our distractions continue to keep us from God. Don't let another day go by where your priorities are not in check, where your priorities are not in order. God is a God of order, and if we are created in His image, then we must be people of order, believers of order. Because y'all, Jesus is coming back. He's coming back for His bride. He's not coming back for a sinner. He's not coming back for a gossiper. He's not coming back for a procrastinator. He is coming back for a bride. And I don't know about you, but I want to be a bride of Christ, because I don't want to miss the feast. I don't want to be walking by looking up from hell like, oh my goodness, I'm missing out. I don't want to miss the feast. I want to close with the scripture, and this scripture is Luke 12:40. And it says, you also must be ready, because the Son of Man will come at an hour when you do not expect Him. I pray we all be ready, because when God comes back, He's coming back at a time. He could come back right now. And he would be proud to see me reading my Bible, giving his word. But think about what you're doing. And if God was to come back at that moment, would he be happy with what you're doing? Would he be pleased with your current lifestyle? Would he be pleased? This is only week 2 of Luke. We have one more week of Luke to discuss, and I'm excited. So if you haven't already, catch up. It's only 24 chapters. Take your time, get through it. But please, y'all, make sure you study Luke, because this book, I think, is my favorite book in the Bible so far because it's so good.
Falling in love with Jesus.